Greetings and salutations. This is the zoo tour for Nordens Ark. Part 1 of I don't know how many even. Way too many. I had planned 3 parts and it will be way more than 3. So it's in Bohuslän, in a place called Sotenes. So it's right in the middle of the land of the black chicken. And if you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, you should absolutely watch my Nordens Zoo Tour. And I came here by bus from Gothenburg, and I had to change bus once. It took me 2 hours to travel here, and you have to excuse the camera a little bit. The sun wasn't very happy with it, so as you can see, there was issues. I have cut most of those things from the ticket booth. Is in that little building you just saw. It was a hotel and a cafeteria too, so you could actually have stayed there if you wanted to. The tickets are 400 kronor for adults and 200 for children as of 2025. And here was some signs. It's a private ideal foundation, Nordens Ark. This zoo is specialized in vulnerable, threatened and endangered species. And some of them are locally threatened or endangered, while others are endangered or threatened or vulnerable on a global scale. This is the map of the zoo, as you see. And here we are continuing on this road towards the entrance, towards the animals. And yeah, as I said, I came by bus from Gothenburg. I had to change bus once in a place called Torp. And I actually bought the tickets from a Västtrafik's office in Gothenburg, which is right by the bus station. So here we are approaching the entrance. We have a sign coming up that says "To the animals," so yay, the animals are that way. Till djuren, which means to the animals, which I mean, I am already almost 3 minutes into this video and I haven't showed you a single animal, so I need to get better at this. Anyway, here we are, still approaching the entrance to the zoo, really. And here we come upon the first little habitat. This will be the hedgehog habitat. Hedgehogs are disappearing in Europe, especially Northern Europe, which is a problem, of course, because they are a keystone species for the ecosystem. So there's a lot of things that has to be done. Their environments has to be preserved, and of course what this zoo does is, of course, breeding hedgehogs and releasing them in places. And this is the hedgehog enclosure coming up, as get camera there. I couldn't see a single hedgehog, unfortunately. They just want to come out. They probably were hanging out in their little small huts you saw there. They weren't moving around. Here we come up to the habitat for the European ground squirrel. I didn't see any ground squirrels either. I saw one later when I came back, but it was so quick that I couldn't get any footage of it. As you can see, they have their burrows all around. They burrow in holes, so there you see they have dug a lot of small holes, but none wanted to show themselves to me at this point, unfortunately. And yeah, ground squirrels are like usually found in Central Europe and Eastern Europe, but they are spreading right now. They are vulnerable, but they are also doing relatively well. This is the Öland goose though. This is of course a domestic species, but it was the first animal I actually saw, so yay, finally an animal, 5 minutes in, hooray! This zoo has a lot of domestic breeds. They are the kinds of local old-fashioned breeds from that you don't see much anymore in modern agriculture. But they have a whole farm for them, and that will be probably the last episode of this tour, because that's where I went last. So now I decided to go around the zoo, this time actually clockwise and not counterclockwise, because I guess I'm getting smarter. I know which way the clock goes now, probably. And yeah, the sun was really not happy with my camera this day, so there is a lot of this footage that you will see that is not the best. I have cut out a lot of really bad things, but there's still of that. There was a lot of signs, still just signs. This is officially now the worst zoo tour of all time, because we are like 6 minutes in and all I have to show you is signs, but just wait, there is good stuff coming. And this is where the good stuff is. The first big habitat is for the Amur tiger, and if this looks small, don't worry, the habitat is so much bigger. They were just all in this part of the habitat right now. Oh, the Amur tiger is such a magnificent animal. It's home is in the Russian Far East, Manchuria in China, and the North Korean border territories. Yeah, it's also called Manchurian tiger or Siberian tiger, and it's the largest type of tiger. You see they have 3 tigers here, and I didn't see more than these 3. The 3 tigers is quite enough. And they're probably closely related, considering they could be kept together in a relatively small part of the habitat right now. And as you'll see, their actual habitat is much larger, and you'll also see why they are here right now, later. But now I will show you a little bit of their indoor habitat, the part of it that's viewable. They probably have a lot of things behind the scenes, but they were outside, so there were no tigers to see in their indoor habitat. But yeah, we are moving on towards and here we are moving on, because this is the main wolf habitat. Unfortunately, I didn't see any maned wolf. I did see again later, when I was already actually outside the zoo area. I saw a maned wolf because you could see part of the enclosure from the outside. And I scrambled for my camera then and barely got the ass of a maned wolf then. But as you see, they have a pretty nice and large habitat too. But they were nowhere to be seen at this point, and soon you will see the little bit I got. Yeah, there it was. It might not be the main wolf footage you deserve, but it's the main wolf footage you got. So we are climbing, and this is still the tiger habitat. So now you can see that it's just much larger than than you saw from that first viewing area. And you will also see why they all were at the viewing area and right now not allowed into the larger habitat, and that's because right now you see there were some keepers here leaving treats for them. So, and that also means they would probably very soon have been allowed out to the larger part of the habitat as soon as the keepers were done with these treats they were giving. I think it's a lamb carcass. Well, yeah, and I could probably talk a little bit about why, because you will soon see that the tiger habitat is actually split in two, because it continues, but it's split in sections. And there are reasons to split this habitat in section. One reason is, of course, that it allows the keepers to have access to one section while the tigers is in another. Another thing it does is, well, tigers are solitary animals. They won't always like to all be in the same place. So you can split them up, give them access to different parts of the habitat. And the third reason is, this way you can also rotate them so they get so they get to experience different parts of the habitat at different days if you rotate them like that. So that's mainly the reasons why you have these, where you split the habitat up in sections that you can section off from each other. Yeah, the tiger habitat is really big, so that means the tigers actually have quite a lot of space to move around in. But as you saw, the tigers were all in that small part with the viewing window right now, so they were not here. Okay, moving on. Yeah. This was just a large habitat. You know, you have to have large habitats for large animals. And yeah, we'll soon also see a little bit of footage from a viewing platform you could climb up to that gave you access to view this habitat from a higher elevation. Again, no. There was no tiger to be seen, but yeah, you know, we saw the tigers already. Yes, more tiger habitat, a lot more tiger habitat. As I said, Nordens Ark is specialized in animals that are endangered or threatened or vulnerable, and it's either on a global scale or locally in Sweden. So an animal that is actually doing fine globally but is endangered, threatened or vulnerable in Sweden could also be here because there could be a project to boost the local population. Of course, tigers are not from Sweden, as I said, they are from Siberia and Manchuria and places like that. And here is the viewing platform I talked about earlier. Yes. Okay, we are now so far into this video already, and well, there is stuff coming up later, so that's really good, but right now you get to enjoy the tiger habitat some more, but now we are moving on from the tigers. And to your left, we now have the big markhor habitat. And I didn't see the markhor yet at this point, they were in the other part of the habitat, so let's try it later. You see the markhor yet. They also have pretty large habitat. markhor, of course, are from the Himalayas and Tibetan Plateau, but here we are moving around. We still have the markhor habitat to our left, but we are also interested in what's going on our right very soon, because that's where we will see another habitat coming up. And here we are approaching that habitat, and that will be, of course, the habitat for the white-backed woodpecker. This is a much rarer type of woodpecker than you'll usually see. And the way to distinguish them from other woodpeckers are, of course, that their back is white, which is not true with other species. Anyway, this is a woodpecker species that is very rare to see, and they are, of course, then, because of that, now breeding them at Nordens Ark. And they are cute little birds. You see their habitat is full of logs for them to pick, which they are, of course, doing, looking for all kinds of insects and small creatures as woodpeckers do. But now we are moving on from the woodpeckers, and we are still having the markhor habitat at our left. We are having a habitat to our right very soon that we will also talk about as we get there, but right now we are still wondering where the markhor are, which we will still be doing for quite a while. So the markhor are a wild goat species from Asia, from the Himalayas and the Tibetan Plateau, and other nearby mountainous areas. And we will see them very soon, but now we are at the lynx habitat right. But the lynx wouldn't show. I usually don't have any luck with lynx at source. It's very rare I see them. So I didn't have luck with them this time either. They were hiding somewhere. So we will just move on from the lynx habitat, and we'll finally actually get to see the markhor. Well, I was a little bit disappointed I didn't see a markhor buck, because the only markhor I saw here at the very end of the markhor habitat was a little kid, and I always take a kid, but bucks have these screwy horns that are really awesome, but no buck to be seen, just a kid and its mother, which is fine. It was a very cute little kid, and yeah, I really can't get over how goat children are called kids. I mean, okay, fine. It's funny. But moving on from the markhor. And we are getting to what I think will be the last section of part 1, because part 1 is already soon 20 minutes long, because this video takes forever. Anyway, here we are getting up to the habitat for the great grey owl. And what was especially great was that they had just been fed, or the keeper had just been inside the enclosure leaving their food, and was now having a keeper's speech outside. And what you will see here is a family. There is a male, a female, and an almost adult chick. And yeah, I think that's actually the chick that was sitting there at this point in time. As you see, the chick is almost an adult already. It looks like its parents in many ways. Here they have left mice for them, and you will soon see a very interesting thing. The keeper said that among great grey owls, both the female and the male raise the kid, or not the kid, the owl, so the chick. And among this couple, it's the male or the dad who is feeding the chick. So here you see the dad giving the chick a mouse, which it immediately will eat, and yeah, they are still feeding the chick. The keepers said that they will still do it for a little longer, and this chick, since they right now don't have a release program for Great Grey Owl, the chick will be sent to another zoo as a breeding animal in future, and here we will see another. The dad is again going to lie to the chick, and the chick is actually calling to the dad to come here and feed me. The keeper also said that every time the keeper is close to the grey owl enclosure, the chick will start calling to the keeper because it's recognized the keeper as the one that is feeding it. Yeah, this was really, really awesome, and I still have some footage of one of the adult owls. I don't remember if this was the mom or the dad who is now feasting on a mouse themselves. Okay, this will be the end of the first part. Yeah. See you later.